Hey, what's going on, crypto people? It is the Crypto Siege with another day in the life, in the crazy life that is the digital asset space. Happy Saturday to you. What's going on with the central banks? We're going to hear from Mr. Wallace, I forget his first name, from Ripple X. Interesting stuff. Shout out to XRP Crypto Wolf. That dude has been on it. A lot of interesting moves from the central banks. We're going to talk about that as well. And you know how we say the market is doing what the market does. I don't know about you guys, but we're just hot and strong. We'll see what happens, but we're hot and strong for sure. Don't worry, guys. It takes a little while for some reason for the chat to populate, but it's coming. Smash those likes on the way in, guys. Smash that like on the way in. I don't know if is it a green stream or not. We'll see. Auto strong. What is going on here? Oh, there it is. Corey Anderson, what's going on, my friend? Good to see you. Smash those likes on the way in, guys. Interesting time to be in the digital asset space. Happy Saturday to each and every one of you. What's going on, Trevor? Good to see you, brother. Adam Meyer is here. Hello from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Well, how about that? Hello to you, Adam. Appreciate you checking in this morning. Crypto_JS, San Antonio is in the building. Let's get it. Let's get it all, Season D. Let's get it all. I like that. I do like that indeed. This central banks, I got to tell you, look, the central bank digital currencies are here. Ripple told us that in one of their recent reports that this is going to be the new fiat. They said it literally. This is what it's looking like. The central bank digital currency is going to be the new fiat without question. And goodness gracious, the news of more and more central banks, you know, they're going to have to try to figure something out to stay relevant. This whole new monetary policy, of quote unquote, the global resets, all of this stuff is taking place. The new internet of value is becoming more and more real every single day, and let's just face it, Ripple is right at the heart of it. And the likes of JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, and Bank of America to some extent. Yeah, not so excited about it. Not so excited about the new internet of value. We're going to listen to Glenn Hutchins a little bit as well, share some stuff, and a good interview that he did with the guy from, I believe, from Bloomberg. Gregson Wong is here. Aloha again. See, aloha to you, my friend. Appreciate you being here. Excuse me, I had to get some of that protein in. Thomas Conservative. Well, how are you, my friend? Thank you for supporting the channel, my friend. XRP bags packed with a tiny carry-on feel too. Ooh. I like the sound of that. With the tiny carry-on feel as well. Love it. Absolutely love it. XRP Magnificent, ¿cómo estás, señor Siege? Muy bien. ¿Y tú? I think that's how it goes. What's going on, XRP Magnificent? Good to see you. Jaden Gray, 26. What does that mean, no pick? What does that mean, my friend? What does that mean? Yeah, good to see you guys this morning. And happy Saturday to you. We're going to go over the markets a little bit. Is your camera switched on? Yeah, camera's on. Can everyone else see me? Jaden is saying he doesn't see a picture. Can you guys see me? Let me know, please, if you can see. That would be awesome. Thomas Conservative, where are you checking in from, my friend? Where are you checking in from? Hello, I'm doing well, sir. Good. Can you guys see me okay? Because Jaden Gray, 26, saying he can't see me. I see you. Yes, Beat You says, yep. Yes. And Corey Anderson says, yep. Jaden, yeah. Everyone else is seeing me, my friend. So guys, look, you guys got some of that ALGO, got some of that EGLD or XRP. That is cool. See and hear you just fine, says Gregson Line. Cool, love it. 416 Crypto, what's good, bro? Good to see you this afternoon. Yes, all is good. Alex, man, fitness and philosophy. We see you. Alex, man, fitness and philosophy. I like that. Fitness and philosophy. Love it. Love it. I've actually saw one of my, was it Alicia Rastani tweeting out about one of my favorite philosophy guys, Arthur Schopenhauer, today on Twitter. Thomas Conservatives in Texas. Love it. Love it. We're thinking about making a move to Austin. Definitely considering it. Hey, Rebecca. Good to see you, Miss. Loud and clear here in Florida. Florida, that's one of our spots as well that we're considering. Just don't know where about. Indeed. So, sorry, just got you back. What's good? It's all good, Jay. What's good with you, bro? What is good with you? So, guys, we're going to listen to a little bit of, who is it? Glenn Hutchins, a little bit from Michael Saylor as well. But first, let me go over the numbers for you guys. Bitcoin is at $47,249. Ethereum is under $1,500 at $1,493. Cardano, $1.41. Binance Coin is at $228.17. Shout out to my guy, Danny Lowe, and all the other Cardano hodlers. Congrats to you. Polkadot's at $35.20. XRP is at 45 cents. Litecoin's $175. Link is $26. Stellar Lumen's at 45 cents. Okay, Stellar making some moves. Up, yeah. I'm wondering if that Stellar move up 13%, almost 14%, 24 hours has to do with the fact that Lumens is going to be on the Flare network. Bitcoin Cash is at $496. Uni's at $23.60. I might have to get rid of that Uni. It's closest to 25 as I can. I'm going to have to get rid of that. XEM is at 56 cents. What is that? What is XEM? New something, NEM, new something movement. And where's Doge? Doge is at 4 cents, almost 5 cents. Got to mention Doge now that they're going to be on the Flare, Flare network. Can't leave them out anymore. Bitcoin dominance is down to 58.12%. We're under the 60%. So crypto_JS, yeah, it's looking like a week or so. I need about 9 grand. Yeah, 9 grand to make that move in preparation. In preparation for the alt season. Yep, so there it is there. Let me go over some stuff in Twitter with you guys. And I want to share this, but let me find it first. Let me share. Got some people moving on from Ripple, which is really, really cool. You know what? Let me do my shout outs first. What am I doing? Let's do the shout outs first. All right, Danny Loaf is in the building. Good to see you, my friend. Gregson Wong, as always, it's great to see you. New Economy Movement. There it is. Thank you, my friend. Namaste, PG. Good to see you. Jeffrey Brown is in the building. How are you? Danny switched channels from CKJ. LOL. Is CKJ on now? I try not to match those times up. John is in the building. DeFi inside the game is going to be crazy. Indeed, it is, John. Good to see you. Appreciate you checking in today. Hey, Joseph C, as always, we appreciate you being here. Alex Man Fitness, thanks for checking in. Siege, do you think we will get any of our airdrop before the SEC lawsuit is over? No, I think the lawsuit is going to be over before the airdrop. Because I think the airdrop is going to be in June. Well, let me see. There's supposed to be Q1 for the airdrop and the launch in May or June, right? So I'm going to say we're going to get the airdrop before the lawsuit, because I think the settlement for the lawsuit is going to be first week of April. 416 Crypto, appreciate you hanging out today as always. Trevor, it's good to see you. Jaden, appreciate you hanging out today, my friend. John, thanks for checking in. Got Rebecca Young, Lady in Crypto checking in. Always love to see that. B Chew is here, and XRP Beneficent is here. Corey Anderson checked in. As always, appreciate you guys. Adam Meyer, appreciate you hanging out and checking in all the way from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. So, look, blockchain settlement. Shout out to Michael Bio 5 Links, that dude, for always being a big time value add to the community. Share with us that Margine Teletine is on her way to another spot. So, blockchain settlement and payment infrastructure provider, SE, interesting, you know, blockchain settlement and payment infrastructure provider, SETL, has hired former Ripple exec Margine Teletine to lead its payments. Margine Teletine to lead its payments business. Interesting. And I think Marcus Treacher as well is on the go as well. We're going to talk a little bit about this from Michael Links as well. Now it looks like the long expected great reset is finally here. Details vary depending on the source, but the basic idea is that the current global monetary system centered around the dollar is inherently unstable and needs to be reformed. Now, of course, this is something that's just been said and said and said and said. So they all know it. They all realize that you're going to have to move over to something else. Okay, to something else. So we all know that that's kind of coming. Well, I wanted to share with you, why is that not? Let's do this. Let's do this. Do this. And do this. And do this. Grayscale opens doors to altcoins, exploring more than 23 new tokens. Yeah. The International Monetary Fund on Friday said it would propose ways to improve the transparency and accountability of how its special drawing rights are used, which was the key U.S. demand for its support of a new issuance of its IMF's own currency. Reuters did a good write-up on that as well. We'll cover that. And of course, Robinhood is just going to ultimately end up paying a fine, because, the fine was not, kind of priced in to the madness. Robinhood, for shame, for shame, for shame. You're supposed to be for the people, my friend, and you didn't do it. Here it is right here. The week in payments. Central banks embrace crypto, digital banking blossoms, and convenience conquers all consumer concerns. Well, you better believe that. On another note about these central banks, 86% of more than 60 central banks queried stated that they are at least studying the creation and an issuance of the CBDC. The BIS, which is the central bank of central banks, has estimated that by 2024, 20% of the world's population will access CBDCs. That's not very far off. And I think that 20% is a low number. Yep. Central banks reckon with the allure of digital fiat. It's coming, guys, and it's coming in a big time way. XRP Crypto Wolf shared this one. China's central bank digital currency is about domestic dominance, not beating the US dollar. China's recent work to curtail its domestic payments industry shows that the country's priority for digital yuan is domestic and not international. Well, we'll see about that one. Nigeria's vice president says blockchain and crypto will challenge current finances because of its potential. Dubai, no, that who shared that last night? I think who shared that. Ghana to prioritize projects, a new regulatory sandbox. The Central Bank of Ghana has launched a fintech regulatory and innovation live testing pilot to give preference to projects using blockchain. Indonesia's central bank has plans to issue a central bank digital currency. The Bank of Jamaica Governor Richard Bile says plans are advanced to develop and implement the use of a digital bank, of a central bank digital currency with a pilot to run later this year. Now, I say all of that to share this with you guys. The status and prospects of CBDCs. James Wallace is vice president of Ripple X, central bank engagements and CBDCs at Ripple, hosted by Rudolph Falat, founder of Voice of FinTech. Really, really good interview here. Let me do this.
Price, right? So if you policy needs to be, I don't want to reach more of the population. Right. Banks to build out and retail commercial banks and.
So he has some really, really great questions here. But again, James Wallace is the vice president of Ripple X. Okay, vice president of Ripple X, right? And I think the thing that really, we have to understand that there's Ripple Net. It's a product from Ripple, the company, right? And their objective is financial institutions and FIs, right? Money transmitter businesses. That's Ripple Net. That's Ripple. Ripple X, you notice how they kind of separated and started this whole Ripple X thing, if you will, right? Formerly known as Spring, which is more consumer facing and is about building out the ecosystem for XRP, and kind of ODL can kind of work in both instances, both for the Ripple X community and both for the Ripple Net ecosystem, if you will. So let's listen to him, James Wallace, answer some questions about Ripple and CBDCs.
And payment companies. And a couple of, let me sort of delve into that a little bit more detail. So, I mentioned this earlier, I think this balance between public and private partnerships. Yeah, a central bank really does not generally touch the public, right? When they print cash, it's distributed through commercial banks. And then the commercial banks, set up accounts and will distribute that to consumers. So that sort of layered approach, I think, is very important. And, Ripple's trying to work, as I mentioned, both with central banks and, commercial banks to build our solutions out. Specifically around CBDCs, there are really three things that we're trying to do. One is the core ledger, if you like. So the technology that is used to mint or create the CBDCs and then distribute it and track the transactions, on the systems of record, if you like, on the blockchain. And we have a clear view that a private instance of an existing decentralized ledger is a good way to go, right? And what I mean by that is we take all the really robust experience of an open source project that's built a ledger that's been running for multiple years, like the XRP ledger, for example. And then you create a version that is a bit more centrally controlled that a central bank can be comfortable with running, and that they will be able to still control their monetary policy and so forth. So that's the first step, right, is the actual basic ledger. So we're working on that. The second piece is, and again, I don't want to keep banging this drum, but interoperability is absolutely critical. So we're working on a project which is, how do you move assets from one blockchain to another? Digital assets, digital money. How do you very, very efficiently interoperate, say, between a digital dollar and a stable coin, or between a digital dollar and a native cryptocurrency? How do you do that in a way that is robust and scalable, right? Because ultimately, if CBDCs, or when CBDCs are widely adopted, these are going to be big systems that transact hundreds of thousands of transactions with millions, if not billions, of people eventually. So that's the second piece, interoperability. And the third piece is what we call a neutral bridge asset. So this is the idea of how do you do foreign exchange between two different CBDCs, right? You could do that. The central banks could have a bipartisan sort of agreement with each other on exchange rate, or you can go through what we call a neutral bridge asset. Could be something like XRP that is essentially used as that layer to do the FX between two different CBDCs.
And who are your key clients? I mean, are you building these solutions for banks, or for the governments, or central banks, or none of the above, or all of the above?
So this is one initiative within Ripple. If I just sort of step back a little bit, talk broadly about Ripple, then we'll come back to CBDC. So Ripple is our primary business is what we call RippleNet, which is the global network of several hundred customers that are doing cross-border payments. And we work. Our clients are payment companies, right? We're not a payments company ourselves. We don't directly work with consumers. We work through companies, the banks, and MoneyGram and Santander and so forth. There's a long list. So we're building that capability out as RippleNet. And then, I'm in a group called RippleX, which is really focused on building out the sort of utility, trust, and liquidity in XRP. So we are working with developers. We're working with partners. I think there are over 12 million users that we reach through the XRP ledger, for example. XRP ledger, and something we're involved with called the Interledger protocol. And then there are hundreds of projects looking to use digital assets to create new businesses for themselves. So we kind of have this sort of two hats, right? So RippleNet is the business around cross-border payments, growing fantastically. RippleX is around growing the community around XRP and working on new use cases. Now, the central bank piece is sort of a little bit of a mix, right? Because we're working with central banks to build out these capabilities that I mentioned, and the solution will be a mixture of open source technology, maybe some elements from RippleNet down the road. It's still a little early to say exactly. I don't want to pre-announce too much stuff there, but so.
Well, James, I think you did just pre-announce some stuff. I think you already did, my friend. So the one of the key takeaways that I got from that, where am I at here? Yep. Is, look, it's very, very clear that, RippleNet is going to be doing the financial institutions, the FIs, and RippleX is going to be working on more use cases for XRP and the XRP ecosystem, like for example, Flare networks. For example, Flare networks. Yes, Danny Love, thank you. At Crypto Seas, when you are done, I think you did that. Started at like 12:30, didn't it? Darren Moore Jr. is doing a step-by-step setup stream. You all should watch it if anyone's having problems understanding. Yeah, that's what Flare Finance, right? That's what Flare Finance. Yep, I saw him tweet that out earlier today. But here's the thing: the Flare Networks, they got in Flare Networks Limited got an investment, from Ripple. The company invested in it. Flare, Ripple X is going to obviously be working with them, right? I mean, that's obvious, right? Because that's not really Ripple's thing. Ripple X is more of, in that they work with consumer-facing products, right? Consumer-facing products. So I was watching something earlier today, and I was thinking about this. It's so important. With the smart contract capability that the Flare Networks brings, and then you throw in what RippleNet brings. What does RippleNet bring? RippleNet brings payments, right? The Flare Networks or Flare Networks Limited brings smart contracts, right? Scaling and smart contracts. What are smart contracts about? Well, with smart contracts, you can do tokenization as well, right? So if you get everything tokenized, you get it on the ledger, you get stuff in a smart contract, and then you throw on what either ODL or what RippleNet can bring in terms of payments. It encompasses everything. That's why he said, eventually sometime down the line with RippleNet, but I don't want to I don't want to give away too much of what's about to happen type deal. That's the plan. Ultimately, Ripple will be able to take advantage or add to the Flare network its payments ecosystem to the smart contract capability of Flare networks. And remember that the guy from Flare Networks Limited, and gosh, his name escapes me now, Hugo, he said this was institutional grade system. Flare Networks was an institutional grade. So you take the Flare Networks and the smart contract type capabilities, right? You take Ripple X with the different ecosystems that they'll bring. That's cool. But when you combine with Ripple, the company, and its product, RippleNet, and that network, and now that network of banks and financial institutions can tap into directly the smart contract capability of Flare networks. So you just think about banks and how they handle payments, but right, that's a part of it. But RippleNet, through people on RippleNet through Flare networks, will be able to do the other parts of their businesses, or maybe are able to get introduced to different types of other businesses through smart contracts. Because they're on RippleNet, they'll have access to it. So being a part of the RippleNet, like I said before, right, the RippleNet and its network effect is going to be absolutely massive. And I just think, when I think of payments, it's just not cross-border payments. It's all kind of payments, right? It's all kinds of payments, not just, maybe it's recurring payments, right? With the smart contract, right? You can put kind of anything together on a smart contract. So think of any recurring payment businesses being on Flare networks. Any kind of recurring payments business. Think about that, right? Martin 958 checked in, blocks and chains attached to us It's like prisoners inside of the crypt. Jay McDean, that's right. Right. We have to look at the pros and cons of a central bank digital currency. This is why I say we have to be really, really hugely, massively cautious when we talk about the 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 uh, the weaknesses, quote unquote, of Bitcoin and its technology. We don't want less choices, Jay McDean. Less choices means, having to default to a CBDC. More choices means we don't have to be in that position because we have choices outside of that CBDC. And that's what we want. We want more choices, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, indeed. It is going to be a beast system. But here's the thing. I think it's so important. We want to have as many options as we possibly can. So the central bank digital currencies, they're coming, but we got to look at the pros and cons of them, right? And ultimately, I just, the more and more I learn and the more and more I study, it's not about the central authority, it's about how they act. How does that central authority act? If they're not acting in our best, for our best interests, then we need other choices. And that's what this ecosystem, this digital asset space represents, right? More choices. Right? That's what it represents, right? And that's what we need. We definitely need the more choices. And Glenn Hutchins was talking about, you got to be careful when you talk about the what is it? The let's see, is that the one I want? Yeah. Let's listen to Glenn Hutchins. Let me have him tell you what he said. I thought it was genius. Where is he? In the beginning of this? There it is.
Solution that's at the heart of the Bitcoin technology is called proof of work.
Hold on, let me share this with you. This is on Bloomberg Crypto Summit, and this will kind of speak to what I was saying. Right? We want more choices, right? Because technologies can be improved upon, right? Let me see, get back here.
And if you would analogize this to the railroad, thank you, Eric, nice to see you. Nice to be with you. So one of the ways I put it is if in the first part of the conversation about this new space, people—
Let's hear his question first. Hold on.
Axer explained to me as I was getting my dome covered in the makeup room. Glenn was one of the first, which he described as more traditional investors who latched on to cryptos and Bitcoin and understood it more from a techno standpoint. I'm more macro markets. So with that, Eric, I want to pass it over to you. Take it away.
Hi, everybody. I'm Eric Schatzker, and I am delighted to welcome Glenn Hutchins. Glenn is a pioneer in private equity. He co-founded Silver Lake. He's now chairman of North Island and North Island Ventures. And Glenn, anybody who's been following the crypto sphere for any length of time knows that you were early, certainly one of the earliest people on Wall Street to see its promise. But it's important to point out that you come to crypto as a technology investor. And I think of that as a very different place than the people who are, say, punting on Bitcoin today, or even the macro types who think of Bitcoin and talk about Bitcoin as digital gold. Let's begin there. What makes the way you think about crypto and look at crypto different from some of the other notable voices out there? I would mention, say, Elon Musk, perhaps, or Mike Novogratz, or maybe Chamath Palihapitiya. People are listening to them. I want them to listen to you.
Thank you, Eric, and nice to see you. Nice to be with you. So one of the ways I put it is in the first part of the conversation about this new space, people don't use the word protocol. They have an incomplete understanding of the technology. And so the way to think about this is there are three inseparable technologies that work together to create the cryptocurrency solution. They are the token. Most people know about the Bitcoin token, but there are many others. The blockchain, which is essentially an accounting ledger, and the protocol, in either the Bitcoin protocol or the Ethereum protocol or other protocols. In my view, the protocol that most people who are thinking about building companies around products in this area think the protocol is the vastly most important piece of the technology. One analogy I would use to let people understand this is, in the payments world, we oftentimes use the term the rails, a railroad metaphor. And if you were to analogize this to the railroad, the boxcar would be the token into which you embed something of value and move it from one place to another. The blockchain would be the cargo invoice, and the protocol would be the rails. And remember, the part that transformed the world was the building of the rails.
So that is a very good analogy. In fact, it's the analogy, you've been very consistent with the analogy, Glenn. It's the same analogy I heard you use to describe, it was Bitcoin back then, in 2016, the first time I ever heard you talk about crypto. It makes as much sense now as it did then. But the reality, as you're well aware, is that people are fixated on tokens, right? Tokens is where the speculative fever is. Tell me a little bit about how you would try to change people's approach and attitude toward crypto as a thing, as something of use, perhaps even something of value, beyond thinking about it as a punter's vehicle, right? That today, Bitcoin, for example, today trading at $51,000, but a month ago at a very different level.
So the way, what I'm interested in is building companies that use this as an application. As Steve Jobs once said, when we're referring to market research, I don't do any research, he said, because they don't know they want it until I show it to them. And so I think what we have to do is show consumers use cases for this technology, and then they'll understand what it is. A very good one that's out there right now is a product called NBA Top Shot, which is produced.
This is actually, I mean, people may not be familiar with it, but it's a craze, right? It's sweeping through the collectibles community.
And through the sports world, right? So it's digital trading cards. You buy a trading card. It's issued by a company called Dapper Labs. The first application is with the NBA, and they issue cards that are unique video images of individual players doing individual kind of moves in a game. A famous one right now is Zion Williamson swatting a blocked shot up into the stands. And you uniquely own that image and you buy it at an auction from Dapper when they auction it off to begin with, and then it trades on their Flow network or protocol. I use the words network and protocol reasonably interchangeably. And then it settles on their blockchain. And the Zion Williamson, last I looked, it's been a few days, so it moves around, but the Zion Williamson trading card, which was issued, I think, in the teens in terms of dollars, is now trading at $200,000.
$200,000
NBA is generating about $1 million a day in revenue from both primary and secondary market sales of these products.
A virtual card of Zion Williamson.
The token that is the means of
started for
$10,
$14. Now it's trading for $200,000.
The price charts out there was issued in
the card
below $1 is now trading at over $20. This is the first application of a product that is in the public seats, where there's a digital good that people are buying. There's a marketplace in which they can trade on the secondary market. There's a blockchain that settles it, where you can see what the new transaction is, and there's a token that makes it operate that has a secondary value. You also raises this issue of digital gold. And the analogy I've tried to use for people is that it's more like digital copper than gold. And the copper has a use case. People buy copper and store value in it, the way you do silver, platinum, or gold or whatnot as a commodity. But copper historically grows or declines in value based upon its use case. If people are building more houses and doing more wiring in their houses, the value of copper goes up, and it's the same in reverse. So it is both a store of value, but it also is an industrial metal that's used for a particular purpose. That's the better way to think about tokens than it is just a gold equivalent unit.
Well, let's talk about tokens and Bitcoin specifically, because you do hear about Bitcoin being the digital equivalent of gold all the time. It's popular in the macro investing community. Bitcoin is digital gold. Bitcoin's a commodity. Bitcoin is a store of value. Bitcoin is a hedge against inflation. Is any of that true in your mind?
Just the way you buy metals and they can be stores of value, hedges against inflation, etc. Yes. But the primary purpose of Bitcoin is not to just do this, is not to store the value. It's to have a use case that makes it valuable. And the other way to think about this is a song or a movie is more valuable the extent to the owner of the copyright, to the extent to which it's played more. So if you have a token on the Flow token on the Flow network that's operating NBA Top Shot has grown in value because of the use of the token to transact on the network.
Okay, but that's different from what we see happening. Again, I'll use Bitcoin as an example today, right? Bitcoin goes from 40 to 50,000, not because use cases for Bitcoin are getting any better. In fact, one could make the argument, and it's been made by many, that the use cases for Bitcoin are actually quite minimal. They're exciting for other tokens, but Bitcoin doesn't have many. Would you agree?
Okay, well, so there are two elements to this. One is I don't have the numbers at my fingertips, and what I have in my head is a little bit old, but there was, I think, $1 trillion in transactions settled with Bitcoin last year. I mean, it's a very significant commodity that's being transacted
as a means of exchange.
Yeah, right. But also for all sorts of financial transactions around the world, and it's growing substantially in use. But I would say there's one of the issues that one needs to get one next level down to think about this is that if there is a problem with Bitcoin, it's that there are a couple of problems. Take a step back. Academics and regulators see problems as obstacles. Entrepreneurs see problems as opportunities. Yes, it is true there are some significant problems with Bitcoin. Yes, it is true there were significant problems 25 years ago with email. That didn't stop us from perfecting that technology and making it now ubiquitous. So one of the problems with Bitcoin is that it is expensive to do what's called the mining or the transaction. What I think of as the better analogy than mining is transaction.
I don't know. So that's one of the things that I was saying that I think is, I think it's, again, when we talk about choices, and I think Glenn hits it right on the head when he says, yep, that, there were challenges in the beginning with email, but that didn't stop us from moving forward, right? Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm talking about when we talk about giving more choices, right? That's the thing that's hugely important. Did I miss another super chat? Oh, Thomas Conservative, thank you, my friend. Thank you. I appreciate that. That is one amazing video, man. Yeah, I tell you, it is really, Glenn Hutchins is really a massively sharp guy. That Bloomberg Summit crypto was really good. But that's the thing, guys. Again, I know that at times we, like Raoul Paul says, that everybody has this kind of like he tweeted out, like he didn't get the tribalism, right? He didn't kind of get that, like why this, and why do we even have, like he said, he despises the maximalism or maxi term, right? The BTC maxis or the XRP maxi, despises that term, right? Because why are we all just trying to move this asset space forward together, right? And ultimately, I think it's, you know, you don't want to, I don't want to fall into that camp of trying to say one technology is better than the other because I hold the, you know, one technology, right? It's important that, again, that we have more choices. And it's important to understand that, just like Glenn Hutchins says, technology gets better. It gets better over a period of time. And I still say, and I highly recommend you guys read the Bitcoin Standard by Safadine Amos to really, really get what Bitcoin brings to the table. It's not just its technology. It's not just its technology. Just like he was saying there, we know that it's slow. We know that the payments can be expensive as well, right? We got to think about the other things, and that sound money principle that it brings, where you have an opportunity to own your own money. We want that, right? If we fall in line with the powers that be that try to down or downplay or say negative things about this asset, right, then they'll move forward. If we start agreeing with them, then they'll move forward in trying to eliminate it as a choice for you and I, right? And we don't want that. Yeah, can you imagine that mixed? Zion Williamson, he just, you know, he did something in the, you know, jumped up and swatted the ball out of the stands. He did it in college also. And maybe that's the one, but I think, no, it wasn't NBA. But he did it in college also. I mean, and it started out for sale for in the teens, and it went for $200,000. Yeah, it's a real deal. So I didn't know NBA Top Shots actually has a token. I wonder, what is that? Anybody know what the token is for NBA Top Shots? NBA Top Shots is just basically an NFT platform. And that's for a rookie player. Yeah, mix. That was for Mickey, freaking rookie. Unbelievable. Yeah. Jose Angel of Vega. How are you? Am I saying that right? Appreciate you being here. Let's go to the moon. Indeed. Good to see you. Appreciate you checking in. Right. So that's the thing that I always want to get you guys to kind of be cognizant of. Remember, they don't want us to win. So when you hear yelling about Bitcoin, when you hear Madame Lagarde, or when you hear those people start saying things, remember, they are not looking out for you and I. They don't want our best interest. So they can talk about electricity and they can talk about power. That's, power usage and emissions and all that other stuff. That's because they want to take it away as a choice for you and I. And we have to be hugely, hugely important, aware of that fact. Got to be aware of that fact. The less of something that we have, the more they can push the thing that they want down our throat. And remember that they are not looking out for us. Is Stellar Lumen about to take XRP and Cardano? What? Is Stellar Lumen's about to take XRP and Cardano going to knock ETH from the number 2? And is the Matic network a scam? I don't know. I don't know the answers to any of those, but I know we have a front row seat to find out. The evil bull run there. We have a front row seat to find out. Well, here's the thing that I know I feel more comfortable in is that Polygon, formerly known as Matic, is getting a lot of people moving over to that blockchain. A lot of people moving over there. So, and it's because of what's going on with ETH and their gas fees. Yeah. SHTF show. I appreciate all the creative use case options being introduced daily. However, am I wrong to feel that we first need to get the currency use thing nailed down before getting too fancy? Now, are you talking about XRP or are you talking about Bitcoin? You know, I think what Ripple realized and recognized is that they needed to be more and more laser focused on RippleNet and payments and cross-border payments, and let Spring, right, go off and do their thing and do more of the other use cases. And I think that's hugely, hugely smart. Focusing on growing out by Ripple, the company, and growing out RippleNet is going to be massive. And Spring is going to do more of the XRP centric, whereas Ripple is doing, you know, the Ripple product and building out Ripple network. And remember, ODL is another product of Ripple, but it's an, you know, it's more of an option piece versus what Spring and what they're doing is the, you know, the first use case, the option is in XRP. Or you're saying both? So yeah, with Bitcoin, yeah, I don't know about any other use case for Bitcoin currently than the store value thing. But I think that's a hugely, hugely important one. I think the digital gold narrative is the most important, probably the most relevant one of them all. I don't think, you know, trying to go down a payments rail with Bitcoin, I don't think it's smart. I don't think that it needs that. I think that it can stay as a store of value, just like gold, right? And be around for thousands and thousands of years, right? If they start tweaking around and trying to change it and trying to make it to some kind of currency thing, I don't think it's good. I don't think that's good at all. What's going on, Klaus? Klaus, good to see you. Yo, Siege, brother, like this man. Please, thumbs up. He is doing it every day for us all. Thank you, Klaus. Klaus, I appreciate that. As opposed to the NFTs. Okay, I got it. Yeah. Well, the NFTs, you know, look, DeFi is here, right? And that's a vertical or a rail, and then the NFTs is another thing also, right? And so the NFT thing, I think it's interesting that it's becoming so popular. I don't get it, but I participate in it. I'm trying to get the value of owning something on the internet. Like a lot of these things, you can't even see it. It's just, you know, like some of it is interactive and, you know, I don't know how you access it, but it's taking off. And I like it because more of the average Joe and the average Janes, again, can participate in DeFi and in the NFT world, right? So that's just more shots of us becoming the new 1%, right? That's what I like about it. Think about somebody got something for 16, you know, put something together, got it for $16, $18. And because of the craze going on right now, was able to get, you know, bring in $200,000, you know, it's pretty cool. So I like the more options where I'm not sure in the physical digital art or the physical art world what that's like. And being early in this NFT game, I think, is just another opportunity for people to, you know, to kind of change their situation financially. Oh, congrats. Siege, my baby boy was born yesterday. Greetings from Amsterdam and congratulations, my friend. Guys, can give a big shout out and congratulations to Klaus. Klaus looks like he had his new baby born baby boy yesterday. Oh, you're welcome, SSTF show. You're welcome, my friend. John Stoops, what's good? Good to see you. They made an app on the XRP ledger for Bitcoin to make it faster and cheaper. I I forgot the name. It came out in Canada, I believe, says Josie, and will be in the US next year. Interesting. Yeah, in other words, right? The improvements that may need to happen with Bitcoin, given time, can happen, given time, right? I think the options to improve upon it is there. My biggest concern is for the option for you and I to choose Bitcoin as a store of value, not be taken away from us. You know what I mean? What's going on, the Thunder Sound? Appreciate you being here today. D Dinge is in the business, is in the building, in the business, in the building. How are you? What's going on, bro? Please, I'm waiting until after the case. So I wanted to share that with you with Glenn Hutchins because you guys, I mean, you know the deal. Glenn, he has the most famous quote, I believe. The values of the protocol, focusing on the token or the price thereof, is distracting and uninformative. And I think that is just absolutely a massive, massive, massive statement from that guy. It really, really is. Hi, why everyone is having issues with Uphold? Oh, I don't know, my friend. I don't know. Hello, Eddie. What does that mean? Crypto Eddie check in? Oh, there's Crypto Eddie right there. It is. Hey, Crypto Eddie, what is going on, man? It's good to see you here on the channel. Another lady of crypto checking in. I love it. And Cindy Lou is here. I absolutely love that. Called Spin the Bits. What's called Spin the Bits? Is that the token for NBA Top Shots, Crypto Eddie? I know you've been on those NFTs lately. I've been watching some of your videos. Spin the bits. Spin the bits. Guys, we got a haul. We got one of the true rock stars checking in on the channel today. Crypto Eddie is in the building. Oh, no worries. I appreciate you hanging out. Crypto Eddie. Yeah, welcome, Crypto Eddie. I know she checks in every now and then for sure. Absolutely. NFTs, look, it's just a massive thing. It's another vertical. It's the way I see it for us to win. That, I think, is most important. I'm savvy. I'm not sure if that's enough or not, my friend. I can't tell you whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. I would just say that this is a big time and completely large, massive digital asset space. And for where we sit in the crypto Caesar's home, XRP is the greatest digital asset ever created. Right? And if we're going to move from a debt-based society to an asset-based society, I'm not sure if they're better assets to own than digital assets, in other words, crypto. And although we do have a wide portfolio, we believe that XRP is the greatest digital asset ever created. And there are going to be a number of winners, so a number of winners, not just one. It's not going to just be XRP. The world is too big for just one winner. It's not just going to be XRP. There are going to be other winners. How blessed are we that we have the choice to add XRP to our bags, to add Stellar Lumens to our bag, to add Cardano, to add Anchor, to add EGLD, to add ALGO. We have those choices, and to add Bitcoin. We have a choice to have some Bitcoin or a little bit of Bitcoin. We have that shot, and what we don't want is them taken away from us because of emissions or because of electricity or because of some other thing that they're trying to spin as a narrative so that they can take that choice away from us. We all know this is technology, ultimately what they're talking about, and technologies can be improved upon. So be careful when you're listening to content creators that are trying to point out all the negatives. It's not healthy. We don't want them taking away our choices. CBDCs on the XRP ledger, cool, that's awesome. But what about the pros and cons of that? Who's talking about that? Who's talking about the pros and cons of a CBDC for us? Oh, it's cool for us because it's XRP Hollis is on the ledger. But what's the negative end of that? If you want to point out the negatives of Bitcoin, what's the negatives of a CBDC being thrust down our throat? What's the negative of that, right? It's important, right? Hugely important. So we don't want less choices. We want more. And we don't want unsound money. We want sound money. We don't want easy money. We want hard money. And we want the monetary policies to fall in line. And to me, the monetary policy and network of Bitcoin is the game changer. It's not the technology. You know, let it go down that use case as a store of value and let us have that as a choice. Remember, if you and I agree that it's a store of value, then it's a store of value, right? And trust me when I tell you, when they figured out that they couldn't strong arm this technology, they had no other choice but to embrace it. And their idea of embracing is regulation. So we don't want to hop on the bandwagon of the powers that be that want to point out the deficiencies in a technology. We don't want that. We don't want that, right? That's not, you know, that's, you ever hear, it's very, very interesting. You'll never hear them say slow payments. Yellen don't say anything about slow payments. Why don't she say anything about slow payments? You know why she don't say anything about slow payments? Because the nations of the world are not going to get around slow payments. Now, global, you know, you go on the ecosystem front, you go on threatening the ecosystem, you know, now you can get, because the whole world can get around that, right? You know, it's an interesting little sly little trick. Crypto Eddie says, I want my cash. I want to keep my cash. I hear you, right? And so I want the options. I want more options, not less options. I want more sound money choices. That's what I want. I want the debasement to go down. I want the money supply to be going down, not going up. Money supply going up does not make for sound money, right? It's not the fact that we have central banks, it's we have central banks that are not acting on in our best interests, quote unquote, bad actors, right? And we had good actors, cool. If they understood sound monetary policy, cool. But unfortunately, you know, most of the central banks are run by economists who still believe that the Keynes theory, or however you want to pronounce that, Keynesian economics works. History has proven that it does not. And maybe we need to look further into Austrian economics and see the value in it and check out the economies that moved in that direction and how well they're doing versus how well we are doing, right? Remember we used to be the greatest lender in the history of lenders, and now we're the greatest debtor in the history of debtor nations. You got to think about why that is, right? You got to think about why that is. What's going on, Gamer for Life? Good to see you, my friend. Crypto Seas, check out the link. I'm not a mod, so just copy it and paste. You're going to love it. I can't see it, my friend. I can't see it, Gamer for Life. I can't see that link. Well, let me just do this. Let's just do this. Let's just take care of that right now. There you go, bro. Now you can share that. So that's kind of what I wanted to point out. And I think Glenn Hutchins, he makes an excellent, valid point. Email in its initial years, it had challenges, but it did not stop us from improving upon that technology. And that's the same thing with Bitcoin. We'll make it better. Look, if we can hop on Energy Web token and hop on that thing there, so can Bitcoin. So can other blockchains, right? So be careful, right? Remember that they don't want us to win. Now remember that there's a bigger picture, and the bigger choice, the bigger picture is, in my opinion, is having more choices of sound money that we control and that can't be taken away from us. You know, I just saw something on Twitter and YouTube. A dude got arrested. This dude got arrested, and they wanted access to his Bitcoin. And he said, I'm not giving you access to my Bitcoin. It's my Bitcoin. I'm not giving you access to it. He didn't get it illegally, I don't think. But it's like, it's mine. I'm not giving you the password. Right? Sound money. So that's what's my most concern. Did you share that link again? Oh, there it is. I see it. Oh yeah, I saw that Gamer for Life. Absolutely, yeah, I saw it. I actually did see that, right? But again, I don't. It's not about. It's not about all that stuff, right? You can make mining, right? There's mining going on with that is less energy intensive. Mining. There's quote unquote green mining going on today. Like there's a technology deficiency can be corrected. Like there's actual green mining going on. I believe actually one of them places is in Texas, right? So they're working on the challenges of mining Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. They're working on getting it and making it better. We don't want to take, trust me when I tell you this, guys, we don't want the option taken away from us. We can improve the technology. It doesn't mean that other digital assets will have significantly more use cases. Of course, there will be assets with more worldwide use cases. Of course there will. But if we can have a store of value that is something that we choose to have as a store of value, we want that, because ultimately this monetary system that we're dealing in now, in terms of what the central banks are doing, is not sound. It's not that it's fiat, it's that it's not sound. It's not sound, you know, and maybe it started in 1971 when we went off the gold standard, or maybe it happened in 1944. But in either case, it's not a sound monetary network, and we need one that represents that. And right now, that's what Bitcoin represents. That's what it represents. And we can learn from that and take value from it. Nice solar BTC, solar Bitcoin. That would be interesting, right? Mulberry Street Cigars, what's up with you, my friend? Good to see you. Yeah, I did see that. I believe I did see that, Gamer for Life. Thank you for sharing that. So remember, guys, don't get led astray. Don't get led astray. We don't want them taking away our choices. You know, we don't want it. We don't want them taking away our choices. Keyless is here. Another lady of crypto checking in. Appreciate you being here today. City Sports Bar and Grill. Yeah, what? Tell me, what does it mean? Yes, indeed. Tell me what it means. Yeah. So that's the thing. That's what we want, right? And so, look, mining today, don't you think it'll be better 5 years from now? I mean, just ask yourself. Mining 5 years from now, you think another 5 years after that it'll be even better? I think so. What's most important is the monetary policy, the monetary network, right? That's what's most important. Central bank digital currencies right? There might not be any energy issues with that, but what's the monetary policy behind it? What's the political policy behind it? What freedoms will we lose? What freedoms will we lose? Is that, in those freedoms lost, is that less important? Is green energy more important than the freedoms that we'll lose? Yeah. Right? So that's what I would urge you guys to consider. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for hanging out with the Crypto Seeds today. Crypto Eddie, I appreciate you checking in as always. It's an honor to see you come into the chat and hang out on the channel for sure. Drew G, what's going on, my friend? Good to see you. Good to see you, my friend. Appreciate you checking in. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with the Crypto Seeds. It's been an absolutely amazing hang. Never ever forget this, guys. Old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather that we remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating, or are you standing on the sideline? Here's what I do know, that the battle for you has already been fought, and the victory is yours. Go get it. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya. Bye.